Hello, everybody. My name is Joshua Magdaleno. I was a software designer and a full stack engineer here. I want to go over the architecture. We created a React single page application. For the backend, we had a Flask Python service. And for our database, we use MySQL. You see this sign. This is Google Compute Engine, which is what we use to host our backend application. You can see here that we have our MySQL database deployed as well as our backend server. I like to go over the front end components I built. I worked on the messaging chat. I also worked on the profiles page. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Dion and I'll be talking about a few points that I worked on this application. The first is data cleaning, second is how we seeded that into the database, the third is how we modeled the data, lastly is how we retrieved the data to display it on our front end. So we used the data from citizenscience.gov, we downloaded it, then we imported it to a Jupyter Notebook where we cleaned it up and we separated some of the data in a way that we could cleanly model in our backend, and we use that to seed to our database. Just a note, the main models that we used are organizations, projects, and profiles. One main point is that we took the project tasks, which initially looked something like this, and we thought that each project or each listing on our marketplace would contain one of those project tasks that someone can do. So they would apply if they have that specific skill. So our next steps are really to seed our database, but in order for us to do that, we have to model our data. Just to cover organizations and projects. So we took all that data and that we cleaned up before, and we basically enforce these rules so that when we apply this function that will go through all our data that we parsed, it will enforce that rule and allow us to reliably push that data to our database. Now it's important to note how we would then retrieve the data. So after we've cleaned it, we've modeled it, we've seeded our database, now it's time for us to be able to make requests. And this is a Flask server that we created, and these are our API routes. So the way we modeled our data, we used a pattern called ORM, and in this case it was a library that we imported, but it makes it very easy for us to do queries rather than writing raw SQL queries, and a lot safer. But this allowed us to not really have as many data anomalies. The complex queries became a lot simpler. For example, so these for one-to-many relationships, these backref or these relationships with backrefs allow us to easily make requests rather than having to try to do a more complex query. Lastly, I'll go over how we collaboratively documented and created mock request. And by mock request, there is an actual API request, but Postman gives us the ability to create mock data and also just poll and see what's going on. And this saves us a lot of time because we were able to make these requests, or if we restarted the server, we were easily able to make some new creations in the database.
Hello everybody, this is Martel, and here I'm going to showcase the web application that I have done throughout the hackathon, and I would like to talk about the parts that I have worked on. First, I would like to show out one of the main pages that you see right now here. It's called the login page or sign up in this case that I have made. It uses Firebase to authenticate the user. Here I can create one account very quickly. Let's see, test1gmail.com, a quick password. And so you can already sign in very quickly here. Here are one of the few tabs that we have added. Josh, Smosh. This is a text sending messages that one of my friends have worked on. And you can change between users. And we also got the marketplace, which this was the main page that I have worked on. And these are all the components that I have worked on each. And here is where I'm showing the, how can I say, let's just say a job position that is available for a research or any other related job towards science. So here we have NASA FBI J&J. Like this is one of the features that we were planning to implement towards our final project to have, how can I say, where you can filter out the organizations that you wanted to pick the most interest, the ones that you're looking for, but it's not like fully up implemented yet. Also, there were other features that we wanted to put on, like having like a filter, like for dates for which day was created a job application. There was another one for the work type, like if you wanted to make it like a research or just a regular job, like in computer science as a developer. And when you click one of those, you're gonna see like we got the project position, the name of the position and the company name, the organizer, like the client, the profile picture, and the position of who posted the job to. Here we have like a project description, the role description, what you're supposed to do on your job, preferred experience, and here's where you can upload your own application and resume. And here where I also added is like another page towards our their organization. This one is like still with dummy data. So here's the title of the name, the title of the organization, let's say. And this were supposed to go like a profile icon for the or logo of the company. Here down below we got a description about what's the company's goals and what it's about, their jobs, and milestones too. So you're gonna see produce oxygen on Mars. That is one of the milestones that this company has made. Now, if we were to go back, like you said, we have more job positions that you're interested. You're gonna select this one, and you're gonna see again the same page as before. There was one last page that I haven't showed up, which is the profile page. However, this page I didn't work on it very much, as what I'm seeing right now is still like under development, unfortunately. So there's nothing much that I can talk about this part because this is not something that I have worked on very well. However, the one that was shown up that it was working very fine, it did a pretty good job showing up the how the web profile account page was going to look like. Anyhow, so this is all that we have so far, and that's it. Anyhow, so thank you very much for watching the video. I appreciate it, and I'll see you later.
Hi, my name is Uriel, and I'm a computer science major from California Lutheran University, and I was in charge of creating the landing page for my team's application. This landing page has an integrated 3D model that I created using Blender, and also a home button to redirect to the marketplace of our application. I created this landing page using React components and also a ThreeJs library called React 3 Fiber, which is basically a library used to integrate ThreeJs into React applications. I created two components. One was the GLTF model, this one right here, which basically converted the Blender file format to GLTF format, which is a format used by ThreeJs to render 3D objects. Then this component was used to actually display the scene of the ThreeJs, which basically I used some components from a different library called React 3 Dre, which has pre-built components such as cameras, lights, and also this controller to control where the view of the camera stands. And the animation itself I created in the GLTF model, which basically just manipulates the frames to make it look like a hovering effect. Great experience overall on this hackathon. I really enjoyed it. Met a lot of amazing people, really talented people, and I gained a lot of knowledge. Thank you.
Hi, this is New Alex, and this is my first time to join the Space App Challenge. I'm in the team Space Jam, and our goal is to build a marketplace for open science project. And this is my first semester in PCC, and also I have zero experience in building a website. Firstly, I want to thank to all the support from my team, and they teach me a lot. In the context of our collaborative efforts, I have had the opportunity to contribute to the following parts. First of all is to creating a records in the profile table by MySQL. Firstly, this is my first time to use MySQL, and it's an open source relational database management system. So what I'm doing is to create records in the profile table to store the information about the name, title, employment, year of experience. So this is for create a profile of the scientist in the marketplace. And in the screenshot, I use my information and insert my information in this table. And the next task, I contribute to build a messaging system. And the message model is designed to represent a database and includes the information of message ID, message content, sender ID, and recipient ID and timestamp. And I make a screenshot of my code and listing here. And the third thing I contribute to is to define a Flask blueprint to retrieving the messages from database. And also, I put my code in the right-hand side, and it provides a route for retrieving messages by their ID from the database. And it uses Flask and JSON responses to handle the HTTP request and database interactions. And it will return the message ID, the message data, and sender ID, and the recipient ID, and also timestamp. And if not, it will return the message not found. And then I did define a Flask blueprint to save message into my SQL database. And as well, I post my code at right-hand side. And it provides a route for saving messages into my SQL database. It handles incoming post request, extracts message data from the request, and creates a new database entry and returns a response, indicating the success of the operation. And then I use Postman to test post and get messages. And about Postman, it's a collaboration platform for API development, and I use this software to test, create, and get messages. And you can see at the right hand side, I make a screenshot of the website of I doing the test of the post and get messages. In the post part, I gave all the information of messages and send, and it will return a message saved successfully. Okay, the last thing I did is I add a new key to scientist profiles, and I post my code in the right hand side. And this code is to get the data of the scientist profile from data JSON, and then get the information of the participate task and split it separately. It's for splitting the task into a drop row. So in the data JSON, it includes all of the information of the scientist profile. And it will help the purse listing to create on the marketplace. And this is my first time to join the Space App Challenge. And there's so much first attempts for me in this challenge. Firstly, this is my first time to use MySQL and Flask, and this is my first time to retrieve data from a database. And also, this is my first time to use a Postman, the software. And this is my first time to approaching an API and processing data from a JSON file. Actually, this is my first time to join a team to build the software. And actually, in Python class, I just learned the loop section. So I really want to thanks to my teammates Josh and Dion for helping me so much. And thank you, Josh, to let me in this team. And finally, I'm gonna say I will definitely join the Space App Challenge next time because this is so much fun.